Hey everybody, it's Josh, and for those of you who don't know, I am the fan of the State of the Saints podcast. Now, wanted to give my prediction for tonight's game against the Ravens, and it's not going to be what a lot of you want to hear, especially a lot of you who have subscribed to me from TJ's channel, but I believe the Ravens are going to win by a score of probably 27 to 24 or somewhere thereabouts, maybe 28 to 24. But I will be happy with this game as long as the Saints make it interesting and they only lose by 3 or 4 points. The fact is that the Ravens are simply a much better team than the Saints at this given point in time. Now, you might look at the Ravens' record and say they're only 5-3 right now, but the thing is, they have a much tougher schedule. So, here's how I see this game playing out. Kamara's not going to do a whole lot from behind scrimmage. The Ravens have a great run defense, and they're going to be all over anything Kamara tries to do. The only way I can see our running game even working at all is if we use all three of the backs we have and come up and design some really exotic running plays and hope they work. But otherwise, I don't believe the running game is going to be a big factor in this game at all. So the Ravens are going to basically shut down our running game. Now, the good news is that their pass defense hasn't been very good this year, but we don't have very good receivers right now. So, we're stuck with Callaway. Is Jarvis Landry back? I don't remember if he's back or not. But Michael Thomas is out for the year. We do have Chris Olave, I believe, starting this game. Then we have Traquan and the usual cast of characters that haven't been performing very well over the last couple of years. However, Andy Dalton is good enough to make a go of this. So he'll get us 2, maybe 3 touchdowns. All right? This is if the Saints are at their best. Now, if they stink it up, they start getting confused, frustrated out there, and they stink it up, well, that's a different story. But as long as they make a game out of it, if they're at their best, they can at least make a game out of it. So Andy Dalton will get us down the field and get us a few touchdowns and maybe a field goal to top that off. Now, on the defensive side, we're not going to have much of an answer for Lamar Jackson. He's pretty much just going to run right all over us. So, I don't know what else to tell you about that. Our D-line has not been very good. Granted, we got it back together last week, and we might be able to stop the run from the actual running backs, but I don't think we're going to be able to contain Lamar. I see Lamar with 2 rushing TDs today. I really do. So it's just the way it goes, and that's how it is. Yeah, here's the good news. I believe we will lose this game even if we play our best. That's what I just said. But here's the good news. I think if we play our best and we get within 3 or 4 points of the Ravens in this game, I believe we can pretty much run the table for the rest of the season. Because our schedule is not hard at all for the rest of the season. The only really hard teams we have to play is in 3 weeks we've got the 49ers in their house in San Francisco. And then our game 16, we have the Eagles. I believe we're going to lose to the 49ers in their house. I mean, the 49ers always seem to have our number anyway. Even when we play them very well, they just always seem to come out on top of us most of the time. And Jimmy G really seems to know how to play us, as does the 49ers coach, whose name is escaping me right now. But I believe we're going to lose to the 49ers. Now, the Eagles, second to last game of the season. I believe we're going to beat the Eagles. When we try and when we're at our best, we usually do beat the Eagles. So they are a much better team than us this year, but I just feel like to some degree, we have their number to some degree, and I believe that we will overcome in that game. So, Xing out the Eagles and the 49ers, Xing out the 49ers, Hold on here. I'm just pulling up the schedule here. Okay, so here's our schedule. Again, this is not a hard schedule at all. Steelers, very winnable game. Rams, very winnable game. We are a much better team than the Rams this year, even at our worst. Then we've got the 49ers. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to lose that game. Then we have the Buccaneers in their house, and I'm pretty sure we're going to beat them fairly easily. Then we have the Falcons. We're going to beat them. Then we have the Browns. We should be able to beat them too. So, and then, of course, the Eagles and the Panthers to round out the season. So all these games are to our advantage after this Ravens game. So if the Saints lose tonight, and I believe they will, don't get too discouraged. Because I do believe we'll finish this season at least 10-7. All right? The only other loss I can see coming if we play like we played last week is against the 49ers. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be a good game tonight. I expect both teams to put on their best because both teams need this game to a large degree. But at the end of the day, the Ravens are going to pull it out on us. But I'll be satisfied if we don't lose by more than 3 or 4 points. That's all I had to say about this game. My Cash App's linked down below. Please show your love. By the way, go give TJ at State of the Saints podcast a sub. Anything I make about the Saints is in reaction to some things he says anyway. Although in this particular case, I jumped out ahead of the fray, so to speak. I don't think he's spoken on his predictions for the game yet. But generally, when I talk about the Saints, it's in reaction to something that TJ says. So that's it. Like I said, Cash App down below. Please show your love. I'll talk to you guys soon.